Hello everybody, how are you doing? So, I was off camera and I was just reading my Bible and this is what I was reading. I'm redoing this so you guys can hear, okay? So I don't know if it's a special message because sometimes my best messages come when nobody's in the room, okay? So, okay, so I am at Ezekiel. I was just looking at the page and I just started reading. Okay, so I was at Ezekiel 37, and it says, okay, hold on, let me see. What did I start to read? Okay. So the hand of the Adonai came upon me and brought me out in the spirit of the Adonai and set me down in the midst of the valley, and it was full of bones. Then he caused me to pass by them all around, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and indeed they were very dry. And he said to me, Son of man, can these bones live? So I answered, O Adonai Erevat, you know. Again he said to me, Prophesy to these bones and say to them, O dry bones, hear the word of the Adonai. Thus says the Adonai Erevat to these bones, Surely I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. Okay? I will put sinews on you and bring flesh upon you, cover you with skin and put breath in you, and you shall live. Then you shall know that I am the Erevat. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied there was a noise, and suddenly a rattling, and the bones came together bone to bone. Indeed, as I looked, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them over, but there was no breath in them. Then he said to me, Prophesy to the breath, prophesy, Son of man, and say to the breath, Thus says the Adonai, Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe on these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceedingly great army. Then he said to me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. They indeed say, Our bones are dry, our hope is lost, and we ourselves are cut off. Therefore prophesy and say to them, Thus says the Adonai Erevat, Behold, O my people, I will open up your, now listen here, graves, and cause you to come up from your graves. Now, are we talking about literal graves or not? I'm not really sure, okay? Because this is to the house of Israel. So I just did a video previously, and it's kind of about being depressed and instead of being optimistic, being pessimistic. So being in your grave doesn't have to be in a literal sense. It could be that you lost hope, okay? And you're like going through the motions, but you're not really fully living, okay? So it says, Behold, O my people, I'll open your graves and cause you to come up from your graves and bring you into the land of Israel, okay? So whatever state of being that you're in right now, it may not feel like you're truly living, okay? But that doesn't have to be what your future is going to look like, especially if you're in the house of Israel, okay? Then you shall know that I am the Adonai when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up from your graves. I will put my spirit in you, and you shall live, and I will place you in your own land. Then you shall know that I, the Adonai, have spoken it and performed it, says the Adonai. Okay, let's see. So I read more. I'm not sure if I'm going to read this part here right now. Let me see. Okay. So I'm just going to continue to read it. I'm at verse 15. Again, the word of the Adonai came to me, saying, As for you, son of man, take a stick for yourself and write on it, for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write on it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Then join them one to another for yourself into one stick, and they will become one in your hand. And when the children of your people speak to you, saying, Will you not show us what you mean by these? Say to them, Thus says the Adonai Erevat, Surely I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his companions, and I will join them with it, with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they will be one in my hand. And the sticks on which you write will be in your hand before their eyes. Then say to them, Thus says the Adonai Erevat, Surely I will take the children of Israel from among the nations, wherever they have gone, and will gather them from every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land on the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king over them all. And they shall no longer be two nations, nor shall they ever be divided into two kingdoms again. They shall not defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will deliver them from all their dwelling places in which they have sinned, and will cleanse them. Then they shall be my people, and I will be their Aravat. David my servant will be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd, and shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. Then they shall dwell in the land that I have given to Jacob my servant, where your fathers dwelt, and they shall dwell there, they, their children, and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them, and it shall be an everlasting covenant with them. I will establish them and multiply them, and I will set my sanctuary in their midst forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Indeed, I will be their Aravat, and they shall be my people. The nations also will know that I, the Adonai, sanctify Israel when my sanctuary is in their midst forevermore. Okay? And then so like I was randomly reading, and so I wasn't reading in order. And then so I started reading here, and I was at verse 27 of chapter 36. And it says, I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you will keep my judgments and do them. Then you shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers. You shall be my people, and I will be your Aravat. I will deliver you from all of your uncleanness, and I will call you for the grain. I will call for the grain and multiply it, and bring no famine upon you. And I will multiply the fruit of your trees and the increase of your fields, so that you need never again bear the reproach of famine among the nations. Then you will remember your evil ways and your deeds that were not good, and you will loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and your abominations. Not for your sake do I do this, says the Adonai Aravat. Let it be known to you. Be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel. Thus says the Adonai Aravat, on the day that I cleanse you from all of your iniquities, I will also enable you to dwell in the cities, and the ruins shall be rebuilt. The desolate land shall be tilled instead of lying desolate in the sight of all who pass by. So they will say, this land that was desolate has become like the Garden of Eden, and the wasted, desolate, and ruined cities are now fortified and inhabited. Then the nations which are left all around you shall know that I, the Adonai, have rebuilt the ruined places and planted what was desolate. I, the Adonai, have spoken it and will do it. Thus says the Adonai Aravat, I will also let the house of Israel inquire of me to do this for them. I will increase their men like a flock offered as holy sacrifice, like the flock at Jerusalem on its feast days, so shall the ruined cities be filled with flocks of men. And I almost have to say hallelujah, because where have the men gone anyway? Then they shall know that I am the Adonai. And so again, I was just randomly reading. I'm not sure where else I read. Hold on one second. I'm not sure if that was it. Hold on one second. That might be all that I read, but I kind of was going out of order. Let me make sure. Okay, so for the moment, that might be all that I needed to read. I'm just checking to make sure, because I don't remember what I did read. Let's see. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much done, but it just so happened that, let me see. I'm going to jump over to Ezekiel 34, verse 23. That's probably where I left off reading. It says, I will establish one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, my servant David. He shall feed them and be their shepherd. And I, the Adonai, will be their Aravat, and my servant David a prince among them. I, the Adonai, have spoken. I will make a covenant of peace with them. Now, be careful with that, because sometimes we talk about peace, sometimes the opposite happens. So I'm just reading as randomly what came to mind, and I'm not sure if this is what I read. I'm gonna figure out how far I'm gonna read. Okay. He says, I will make a covenant of peace with them and cause wild beasts to cease from the land, and they will dwell safely in the wilderness and sleep in the woods. So I will make them and the places all around my hill a blessing, and I will cause showers to come down in their season. There shall be showers of blessing. So that's very good, showers of blessing. Then the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and the earth shall yield her increase. They shall be safe in their land, and they shall know that I am the Adonai. When I have broken the bands of their yoke, hallelujah again, and delivered them from the hand of those who enslave them. And they shall no longer be a prey for the nations, nor shall the beasts of the land devour them, but they shall dwell safely, and no one shall make them afraid. Okay, let me see how far. I will raise up for them a garden of renown, and they shall no longer be consumed with hunger in the land, nor bear the shame of the Gentiles any more. Thus they shall know that I, the Adonai their Erevat, am with them, and that they, the house of Israel, are my people, says the Adonai Erevat. You are my flock, the flock of my pasture. You are men, and I am your Erevat, says the Adonai Erevat. Okay? So for some reason I randomly was reading, and so I had to reread to share with you guys. If you are the dry bones, if you guys are depressed and downcast and whatever the case may be, pessimistic, I guess it's saying that there is hope, that things will get better, that even in the midst of your unknown, when you don't know when the solution is coming, there might be a solution coming your way, okay? If you're amongst those that I was praying for like 2 weeks ago about solutions, resolutions coming to your problems, I hope you're starting to see those miracles coming your way. And if you have not, maybe perhaps you may see it in the future, okay? So hallelujah, thank you, Creator, for answering the prayers of your people and for making sure that we are your people and we're going to live according to your desires. Okay? If you like my video, please like, share, subscribe, or comment. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.